feeling into where I am right now. Wanting to be in the moment with you. Grateful for all of your prayers and encouraging messages and energy and Reiki. Parts of me move between wanting to be where I think you are, which is without major worries, without anything that's actually life or death. And parts of me that know that when I didn't have anything, life or death, things felt life or death anyway. Things felt like if I didn't get this thing, or achieve this thing, or get out of this debt, or mend this relationship, or get out of this relationship, 1111, that it wasn't going to be okay. And that can be confronting to experience the fear of things not being okay. And then you think, well, if that happened, I know I would eventually be okay, because that's always the case. And still, for me, I've run a low-grade infection of the fear that things won't be okay even before they were not okay. And so I think to myself, this is old energy. This is old energy even before my body experienced this. These are the thoughts and feelings I had before. And I share with you to say, I know even this energy, even the newer energy, is at least 2 months old. And I'm living out the experience of 2 months ago. And that this doesn't have to be my future based on how I feel now. That I could create a new perspective. That the truth is that it's only the self-blaming and the self-guilting and the self-shaming that hurt worse than the pain. Well, what would you do if you didn't feel responsible for every single painful thing you felt? Are you just letting yourself off the hook? Are you saying you're not responsible for your life? Are you saying that you're not able to change your life? And I said, no. You could still be in control of your life and take a stand for your life without feeling guilty. You could still take action in your life, inspired action according to your soul, according to God in your life, even without feeling guilty. You could still do the right thing in a situation with a family member, with a friend, with a co-worker, without feeling guilty. Guilt is only disconnection to God. The medicine says the only reason why we are not always in exact resonance with God and feel that we have access to the divine, access to source, access to greater spirit, is because we are so identifying in guilt. That guilt is the main frequency that gives us the illusion that we are severed from source. And it's the only way we can be severed from source energy, because it's our choice to feel guilty. Source would never sever its connection with us. But it feels so uncomfortable. It feels so uncomfortable to let go of guilt, because the other side of guilt, sometimes in our history, has been manipulation. The other side of not feeling guilty has been gaslighting from somebody who won't let us go until we're feeling guilty. So, let us say it's possible to not feel guilty and feel safe. It's possible to not feel guilty and feel close to God. It's possible to not feel guilty and to feel okay. The last few weeks have been very challenging, and I think you all knew it because you hadn't heard from me. The last 2 days was especially hard because New Year's Eve I felt so much pain that I took too much medicine, and I had medicine drug toxicity. And the next day, I woke up so hungover and with a lot of ticks in my body. And when my parents handed me the orange juice, I spilled the orange juice all over my body, and it seeped under my back. And so we had to get me up to change the sheets. And when we tried to get me up on the walker, my hands were ticking, and my hands fell off the walker. And so then we said, oh shit, we gotta hold my hands on the walker for me. And then I slept most of the day, and I had a beautiful conversation with my best friend and my doctor, and I slept all last night, and I feel much better today. And I said to myself, why would anybody want to not be where they are when they're feeling good? That makes sense. But how can I change the perspective to me wanting to be where I am when I don't feel good, so I can take back my power? I no longer believe that frequencies are perpetuating in my mind or my body because I quote-unquote deserve them. I more so am in the direction of family, generational, ancestral trauma, and trauma from my early childhood that's brought up and gifted me the opportunity, as torturous as it feels, to experience the depths of depression and anxiety that we are now ready to leave behind. Not only as an individual and as a family, but as a collective. And bringing the gift of God, the joy of God, the real God. The real God that is in no space of judgment. Ever. And that's why it's time to let go of the guilt. No matter what, no matter how hard it feels. Go in your mind right now if it feels right. And you'll feel a trail of guilt that has been with you and felt so familiar this whole time that it feels like it's part of you, like you identify as it. And take it backwards and say, I don't want to live in guilt anymore. And be brave and be courageous and follow the neural pathways until it feels like it's breaking. It's breaking neurons. And you're being so brave and courageous to not feel guilty anymore because it feels so scary. But as you do this, as you meditate on this, and as you open yourself up to the possibility that it's okay to not feel guilty, you will feel yourself breaking all of those vows that you took lifetimes ago, thinking you were vowing to God. But in fact, you are vowing to a lifetime disconnected from God. I tell you that I am being taught the greatest lesson on the planet. Which is how to have compassion for no reason. How to create compassion for myself. As much as I've created for other people in my life. And I ask each of you, please, no matter what voice in your head says you're bad or you're wrong, to cultivate compassion with me. To own it as your identity. To own self-compassion as your identity. This is who I am. And I don't care if anybody else judges me. And I don't care if anybody else needs me to be different. This is who I am. And it doesn't mean I can't hold other people accountable. It doesn't mean I don't hold myself accountable. But I make things right. If you make things right, you don't have to live in guilt. Imagining golden light and healing light all over my spine. Imagine golden and green healing light all over my right hip and pelvis. imagining golden green healing light all over my left side of my skull and my face, and any other place that desires exception, safety, confidence, power. Deep breath. Imagining golden, green, and pink healing light all over your body. All over your mind, your frequency, your auric field. Not accepting any bit of guilt or self-blame. You've done enough. You've done enough already in this lifetime for thousands of lifetimes. We're no longer to identify as bad or wrong, as not enough, as not doing enough, or as doing too much. There will always be a way that feels good. And if there's not a way that feels good, then it's not the time to take action. Let that be clarifying. I love you so much.